Working Stiffs, what is up? This is your boy Breezy McFly, and I'm back again with another defensive video. This is part 2 of that defensive game plan settings that I was telling you about. This time we're going to go a little more in depth, and when I say more in depth, we're actually going to go to the individual matchups. Last time I showed you guys the guidelines of how you want to do it in general for the entire team. This time I'm going to go to the individual matchups, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So right now we have Isiah Thomas, 91 overall versus, who is this? Jeff Teague. So right now, you know Jeff Teague is a decent defensive player. He has a B- rating, so he's good lateral quickness, but you're playing against an offensive threat. Now, Isiah Thomas isn't going to necessarily dunk on you. I know this is a video game, but he's not necessarily going to dunk on you. But he does have the option to finish around the rim better than most guys at his small stature. Plus, he can shoot. So, depending on how good of a defender you are, you could keep it tight or you could keep it off ball. Now he can shoot as well, so I would keep my settings like this. Force of direction, you still want to go baseline, but against somebody like him, you might want to switch to middle because he's smaller. Even though he's quick, he's smaller, and that's going to lead you more into the defensive help that we were talking about. Everything else you want to keep the same because these are mostly geared towards the big man and everything else. Again, when you play tight, they're automatically going to be towards the front of the player anyway. So if someone's making an ill-advised pass, they can jump right in front of him and slap the ball away and get an easy deflection, which could lead to an easy fast break dunk, layup, mid-range shot, or even a three. Now this next one, you have the same kind of defender. But let's take it on the other side. Let's say we're Marcus Smart on defense and it's CJ Myles. CJ Myles can actually shoot. He can shoot a mid-range, he can shoot the three. So what you want to do is you want to stay tight on him, but when he gets to on ball, you want to change that to smother. You don't want any kind of shooters that you know that can't just drive on you or create their own shot. You don't want them to have any kind of room for anything. Now I say tight because you want them to be following them. If you put it on deny, that's a little too strong, so he may overpress and make it easier for a cut to the basket with him. Because like I said, CJ Myles can finish around the rim. So you want to keep that tight off ball, and on ball you want to keep it smothered so he doesn't have a good chance to actually shoot the ball. Now this one right here, you're playing against a superstar in my eyes, Paul George. Paul George is a guy who can do it all. He can drive, he can kick, he can create for other people, he can dunk, he can finish around the rim, he can shoot threes, free throws, everything. So this guy is kind of like, you got to pick your poison and then just try to defend him the best that you can. I would leave everything tight because he can shoot from anywhere, and then he can also finish. If you change it to moderate, that means he'll be around, but you're going to leave it open if he comes off of a screen. And the same thing. Now if you're good at switching and off-ball defense and stuff like that, I would change it to moderate because then you can overcompensate with Jay Crowder or whoever else you have defending him. But it all becomes the matchup. If you don't have a guy who has the length or the strength to match up with him, it's going to dictate what settings you put for that person. Now right now, Thaddeus Young can't really shoot like that. He can finish around the rim, but he can't shoot. So when you put on ball, that's a person that you would change it to moderate. And when it comes to off ball, he'll make a three every now and again, but most people aren't going to shoot with him. So I would change that to gap. So that's going to force them to do a mid-range shot with him. Like I said, unless the person really knows how to shoot, which you can look at my old video for showing you how to shoot, most people in the first couple of levels when you play online don't know how to shoot that well. So I would gap him because that's going to force them into a mid-range shot. More than likely, it's not a shot that most users would want to do with Thaddeus Young. And also, you can still get this defender to come and close out on him, which could make it a bad shot. So that's what I would change if I was playing a player like Thaddeus Young. And now this guy right here, you got two similar players right here. Myles Turner is basically a younger version of Al Horford, just shoots a little bit better. But what you want to do is you want to keep both of these tight, because he can shoot and he can finish around the rim. Same thing with Myles Turner. You want to force him to the baseline. You want to go overhead just because he's a center, so he's not going to be fighting over everything. He's going to be setting the pick, so you want to keep everything the same like that. 3/4 bottom, because just in case, he is a center, so he may be down low, but you're always going to be behind him. Same thing for when he shoots. Keeping it at 3/4 bottom, that's going to allow you to play tighter defense and be right on that guy. Right here, I don't know why they have the head coach on this guy, but what you want to do for Glenn Robinson III he can shoot and he can finish around the rim. So you can keep this the same. Monta Ellis, you can keep this the same. Let's see, Jefferson, that's somebody that you can do moderate or even gap off ball and then keep it moderate, because that way you can finish on him when he's trying to go to the paint, but also you can close out if he tries to shoot a mid-range, which he's not particularly good at. Ronnie Stucker, you keep those things tight because he's a good shooter. This gentleman right here, Joseph Young, I'm not too familiar with him, but what I would do is I would do moderate and moderate, because we don't know if he can shoot that well, so you don't need anybody to be that. When you keep people off of the actual individual defender, this helps out with those tip passes. And those tip passes come more in handy when I show you in another video how you change it when you're in a timeout or your coach's settings. Kevin Seraphin, I would go moderate and gap him, because he's not going to be able to shoot and he's not going to be able to necessarily dunk on you. And then LaVoy Allen, I keep it tight because he's kind of like a stretch big. This is a bench guy, so I keep it moderate. And then that's about it. So this is part 2 of my video. If this video helps you guys out, let me know. Leave a comment in the section. Leave a like. As always, working stiffs. It's your boy Breezy McFly. Do what it do.